Hello all, here is a simple circuit. So from academics we all know this circuit, and we might have designed few in academics in lab, and even when we move to professional career, so we might have designed circuits around this, but most probably we might have used an IC, or some other scenario. So here what we are talking is basically a simple NPN transistor which is used in two configurations. One is the scenario where the load is connected across the collector, and the other one is where the load is connected across the emitter. So the first scenario is a simple scenario where NPN transistor can be used as a switch, where when a pulse of example, here we have taken a pulse. So pulse we are taking because microcontrollers generally when we control has 3.3 volt and then also 0 based on the control that is required. We generally provide that output. So to just simulate that scenario, to have 0 to 3.3 volt, we took this output, took this voltage source which is a pulse. So definitely the transistor has very high impedance, so it requires very minimal current for this transistor to on. But only thing is, when we use this as a switch, the transistor should be turned between switch off and saturation. So switch off and switch on, basically it's like a cutoff and saturation. So considering those scenarios, here if we see the load is connected at the collector. When, let us assume a scenario when the transistor is on. When the transistor is on, that means this particular pin we see here is grounded. When this pin is grounded, so as this is NPN transistor, so when you give high, this transistor will be on. So at that point this will be off. So if you can see the scenario here, so the blue waveform you see here is a 3.3 volt, and when 3.3 volt is high, okay, the output is 0, because when 3.3 volt is provided to the base, this particular transistor is on, and then you have a ground at this point. When this pulse is having a 0, providing 0 input to the base, this transistor is off, and then the voltage is supplied from the power supply, and if you see the scenario here, there is a resistive divider that is happening between this resistor and this resistor. You cannot avoid having this resistor, because if you don't have a resistor here, when this transistor is on, you are having a direct short scenario, right? So during this switch condition, the output is mainly determined by the resistive divider voltage between R1 and R2. R2 is nothing but the load, R1 is the collector resistor. So example, if you see here we have 2.5 volt, because we have equal resistors, the voltage 5 volts is equally divided between these two. So let us assume a scenario where I am just making it 100 ohms. Okay, if you can see here, when we make 100 ohms, the output has increased, but still you cannot achieve the maximum 5 volts, because there is a voltage division that is happening here. So this is how we have used NPN transistor as a switch. Now considering another scenario, the same transistor, same NPN configuration is used where the load is connected to the emitter. So this configuration is called a emitter follower. So for professionals, So for beginners, definitely they might not know. For professionals, we know that a buffer configuration basically is a emitter follower. So buffer has a very high input impedance and very low output impedance. So what happens generally, why we use buffer is because buffer provides us current gain. It is used to isolate the input and the output. So here this is the simple circuit of a buffer, we can say, which is emitter follower configuration, where we are provided the pulse. So this pulse, if you see here, when we provide 3.3 volt, this particular so we know that transistor is nothing but it is made of NPN, means NP PN junctions, right? So this particular thing here, PN, is nothing but we can treat it as a simple diode, right? That's what we learned in academics, and that's what the configuration of transistor is. So now this particular diode will have a drop, and this voltage will be seen here minus the drop. Example, for 2N2222 we have 0.6 volt drop, so that means 3.3 minus 0.6, which is around 2.7. So 2.7 voltage is seen directly across the load. So if you see the difference between this scenario and this scenario, definitely here we can with the output is depending on the voltage divider that is happening in R1 and R2. Here the output is depending on the drop here, and this input is directly seen at the output. Okay, so this is a simple circuit at a very basic level. Yes, there are some additional changes that are required to this circuit to actually implement a buffer. So we will talk about that in later videos. This is just an introduction video to understand. So now you can see here, this particular pulse will drive this base, and then you will have the same waveform that is seen here. So if you see here, the green waveform is the input, and the output, the blue waveform at the resistor R2 is the blue waveform, which is 3.3 minus approximately 0.6, which is 2.7 volt. So it is, the output is exact replica of the input with the voltage drop that is seen across that particular line, right? And here one more important point is that there is very less loading on the input, right? Whereas in this scenario, the actual input and output are translated. Here input and output doesn't get translated. Example, if you give 3.3 volt here, you just get the same voltage here, because it is just a drop of that particular voltage, or let us assume an ideal scenario of 0 volts, which doesn't exist actually in reality. So you'll get maximum of 3.3 volt here. That means the input and output are replica. But here if you see the scenario, the input is just to drive the transistor on and off, but the actual output is either 0 or depending on the supply voltage. So that's the scenario we are seeing in this particular case, where we have connected the load across the collector. So very simple configurations, same transistor, same like NPN configuration, loads connected across different scenarios, same power supply driving the transistor collector of that particular transistor, same base but different operations. So the beauty of electronics here is the same circuit can be used in different scenarios with few changes, and in real life the electronics engineer loves his job because of this kind of different scenarios that he sees in the real life. So if you have any please understand that this is at a very basic level explanation. So there is in-depth explanation with respect to the gains that we talk, the currents, the variation of variation of the supply voltage. So there are several scenarios here which we have not talked, and there are several scenarios where there is an improvement of there can be an improvement of this circuit to be used in a real life scenario. So here we are only talking about a basic circuit to just give an idea how this particular transistor operates. Everyone actually, to start designing, one important point is that we have to go back to the basics. The best thing is to pick up how a transistor equivalent circuit can be drawn, how it operates at different conditions, the DC analysis, the AC analysis, and see the operational conditions, the different characteristics of that particular transistor, and then understand, which gives a detailed view of these transistors. Hope our video just gave a glimpse. If you are a beginner, and if you are experienced engineer, you all know this. It is a very basic explanation. Please post your comments, please post your suggestions, please let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Please like our video, please subscribe our channel. Thank you.